All right. So hello, everyone. Thanks for being here with us today. Today is the third session from the second virtual summit from Gemvision. We start with Harold and Erika Happy on the first day, where we had an overview about how the trade is looking for the present and the future. It was amazing. A lot of people was amused for all the data that we put on that meeting. Yesterday, we were showing a bit about everything that a staller can offer when it's about customization solutions. So yesterday's presentation was amazing because a staller has a lot to offer, and sometimes it's not easy to bring everything together in 1 hour session. So yesterday, Alex, Xavier, and Sean, they did an amazing job just showing all these options that a staller has to offer. So we still have 3 days left for the second virtual summit. And now today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, we would like to go a bit deeper to all these solutions that we can offer. This is why today, what we will be presenting is the CounterSketch next level customer experience. So today we will go a bit deeper on what we can offer with CounterSketch. Walk you through all the options that CounterSketch has to offer and all its integrations. It's an honor to have with us today Alex Staller, that is the Staller Senior Director of Bridal, Winnie Rogers, that is the Gemvision Training and Technical Support Manager, and Lainey Fontenat, Gemvision Training and Developer Instructor. So hello, everyone. How are you today?
Hey, everyone. Welcome.
Hey, guys.
Hey, everybody. Oh, glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. I know that you are very, very busy people. So I have talks with all of you every day, and I know that it's not easy to find a spot where we all can meet. So I really appreciate today being with all of us. So honestly, today, the other days, I had a bit more of work to do during the presentation. Today, I think that it will be an easy one for me because Alex, Whitney, and Lainey will take care of everything, and I will be able just to enjoy the presentation. So Whitney, if you want to share your screen and you want to start with the presentation, whenever you are ready.
Perfect. Thanks, Oriol. We are going to start sharing here in just a second. Hi, everyone. As Oriol said, my name is Whitney Rogers. I'm the Gemvision Training and Technical Support Manager here at Gemvision. And we're just going to talk a little bit more today about how CounterSketch can help your business and help you personalize not only jewelry, but personalize the customer's experience as well. So we're going to go right into our deck here. So the first thing we want to talk about is actually the future of retail. We talked a little bit about this at the beginning of the week in the first 2 sessions, but customers are really starting to look for personalized product as well as experiences. So we talked about how custom product is just continually growing, but customers also want to come into your store and experience something unique. And that's a little bit about what we'll talk about today and how you can do that with some of the solutions Stellar has to offer. Customers also want seamless transactions. So whether they're walking into your store or they're shopping online, they want it to be quick and easy to be able to purchase from you. So you want to make sure that you're everywhere your customer would expect to see your business or your product. And you can do that through an omni-channel approach. So when we talk about an omni-channel approach, you should be on social media. So Instagram, if you can set up an Instagram store, customers scrolling through at night, sitting in their bed, they see a product that they like, they can click purchase and get in touch and engage with you and your teams, as well as any other platforms where you engage with your customers. You just want to make sure that you are everywhere they expect to see you. You can do this through innovation with digital technology. So we talked a little bit yesterday about Stellar Showcase that allows customers to kind of use stellar.com as a quoting tool and searching our inventory. They can take that home, or you can have it up in your store. And CounterSketch is also another one of those technologies that we offer that you would use in the front of your store to engage with your customers and give them a unique experience as well as that personalized product. So to talk a little bit more about CounterSketch and what CounterSketch is a simplified CAD software, essentially. So CAD stands for computer-aided design. A lot of the CAD softwares that you have probably seen in the past or heard about are pretty complex. They build from scratch. There's a long learning curve involved, and you never see it in the front of store. You'll always see it in the back of house. Maybe the customer comes in, you sit down, you do a sketch with that customer, and then you go back, draw the piece up and send them renders a few days later. Well, CounterSketch is changing the game in that you can use it side by side with the customer. So what we've done is we've created customizable models. So you're not starting from scratch. You're going to use one of these pre-built library designs. We have an assortment of bridal jewelry, such as our Ever and Ever collection, which Alex will talk about here in a little bit. We also have pendants available in there and a library of what we call freehand parts. So those freehand parts are essentially parts and pieces. So you think heads, shanks, scroll work that you can piece together to make something truly unique and custom for your customers. So we're kind of doing a little bit of the heavy lifting for you and giving you this tool to use side by side with your customer in making those custom models. So with this, you can also do real-time estimates. So there's a quick estimate tool within the software itself that allows you to work alongside your customer with their budget. Once you submit an order through CounterSketch, it is 24 to 48 hours for a quote from Stellar's CAD/CAM services. So every single model that you would submit through the software comes to our validate team. They're going to ensure that that file is producible, manufacturable, and they'll get your cost over to you within 24 to 48 hours. All the estimates within the software itself are going to be based on Stellar Showcase markup. So they talked about Showcase yesterday. So everything that you would show your customer would be at your retail value. Next, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but CounterSketch also gives you the ability to do same-day resin samples with B9Creations. So you can see we have it pictured here for you as well, and we'll have a whole session on Friday about 3D printing, highlighting B9 as well. But this allows your customer to take a physical piece, put it on their finger before they close the sale. Next, all the manufacturing is done by Stellar's CAD/CAM services. So you're going to have your customer come in, design their model, and Stellar will take care of the rest for you. And lastly, we're going to create that unforgettable customer experience. So think about your customer coming into your store. You have Ever and Ever. You're going to shop our Ever and Ever styles. The customer picks one and they want to make a change to it. So they're like, I really like this piece, but I would like to change the stones on the side of the shank. Maybe I want to make them come down a little bit further. Maybe I want to add a halo. You take that piece over to CounterSketch, you can make that change live with your customer, and then you can take that model out of CounterSketch and print a resin sample on your B9 printer. So really an unforgettable experience that the customer can't really go anywhere else and get. They can come into your store and have this truly unique custom experience. So I'll hand it over to Alex. She's going to talk a little bit more about Ever and Ever and how it works alongside with CounterSketch.
Everybody, my name is Alex Steller. I've been with the company about 10 years now, working in the bridal department for 3, and Whitney has made my job pretty easy, actually. She's talked a lot about Ever and Ever already and kind of teed it up. But really what Ever and Ever is, it's an in-case solution to partner with CounterSketch, because while the technology is so powerful and gives incredible visuals, there's nothing like holding a piece of jewelry in your hand. But jewelry is very expensive inventory, as we all know. So what Ever and Ever's purpose is to really have a small in-case assortment that you can show physical samples to your customer. So even if they want to change something, first of all, you don't have that inventory risk, because they probably do want to change the size of the head, the stones down the shank, maybe the shape of the center stone. And Ever allows you to have a sample that they can have more of a concept of what it will look like on their hand. So it's really a powerful partnership of Ever and CounterSketch together. Plus, as you'll see later, now with the addition of the B9, you really have the most powerful customization solution for bridal that you could want. So we have a lot of different options with Ever and Ever. The 4-foot comprehensive that we have offers more styles than obviously the core, which offers 29 prototype styles, and that starts at $12.99. But we don't just give you the prototypes, we also give you marketing support, social media assets, billboard assets, all types of things to support this brand, which you can also just brand on your own. So you don't have to call it Ever and Ever. We went ahead and did that work for you to make it easy, but you can call it whatever it is that you want. It can be Alex's Bridal Collection, the name of your store, whatever it is that you would want to do. So we really wanted to make the program of Ever and Ever as flexible as the software that partners with it. So again, as Whitney mentioned, and they're going to be showing you a demo here, all of the engagement rings within the Ever and Ever program are in CounterSketch. So you can take any style that you see within your in-case solution, you can pull it out and you can instantly bring it into CounterSketch and start making those changes that your customer is asking for. So it's a real experience that they're having, both physical, and they're being able to see the amazing changes that you're able to make within the software. So again, this program starts at $12.99. You sell 1-2 engagement rings out of the program and it pays for itself. And it's just a really powerful tool for those people who need to feel something physical right away. And the jewelry, the prototypes really do look beautiful. So it doesn't feel fake, it feels very real. And again, you're not having to make that investment in your inventory. So that's my spiel on Ever and Ever. You're about to see some really cool demos with it. But if you have any questions, please drop them into the chat. And thank you guys for having me today.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, Alex. And Lane, before you go, there's always an experience that I like to explain about CounterSketch. And now that Alex has finished with Ever and Ever, I didn't know about CounterSketch and Ever. I don't know, this was like 10 years ago. And I remember once getting into one shop, I was a designer by the time, and it was the first time that I saw CounterSketch and Ever together in one shop. And myself as a designer, when I saw that, I remember going outside to my wife and saying, my life as a CAD designer is over. Now that I have seen this solution with CounterSketch and Ever and Ever, at that time I wasn't working for Staller. I said, these people has the best solution that I have ever seen. So as Alex was saying, the experience when you have a customer at your site sitting with you with CounterSketch and Ever and Ever, it's the perfect match.
Awesome. Thanks, Oriole.
I had to tell this. So it's something that I always
okay,
like to
we love
tell.
personal stories. All right, we're going to pass it back to Lainey now, who's one of our Gemvision instructors, and she's going to go through a live demo for us.
Yes, so as we keep mentioning, CounterSketch is almost an experience you want to sit down with your customer to have. So you can sit shoulder to shoulder with your customer as you're designing your pieces within CounterSketch. There's also multiple ways you could utilize CounterSketch. So as we mentioned, they have these base models you could pull from and make modifications to. But if you don't want to fool with that and you want to go straight from scratch, you could utilize our freehand parts toolbox. And you can create everything from our freehand parts. If you don't want to get that specific, you could also add those freehand parts to our already existing library models. So there's really a wide range of different ways you could use CounterSketch. Another thing that's great about CounterSketch, you could shop Stellar's inventory right through the software. So you don't have to go to a web browser, go to stellar.com. You can do that all within the software. And then lastly, you can create realistic renders and share these with your customers. So we can create renders and share them on social media. We can email them to our customers. And once again, we're doing this all through the software. Now, as you just saw my image change, we can make all of those modifications in CounterSketch. So we're at our ever and ever station. We see a ring we like. Our customer's like, I like this one, but what if it had this? Perfect. We'll take that specific model from our ever and ever collection. We'll get the model number on it, and we're going to bring it directly into CounterSketch. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. I will show you my CounterSketch screen. So we're at our live demo. Like I just mentioned, we love this ring, but we want to make this change. Perfect.
All right, everyone, we're just swapping over to our CounterSketch software. I think we hit a little technical difficulty, so bear with us for one moment.
We'll get it up and running. But while we're doing that, I'll just kind of continue to talk about CounterSketch. So we have a few thousand different models in there, and it can kind of be overwhelming when we pull it up and we're looking at all of those different models. So one thing we can do is utilize our filters within CounterSketch. So we can go through, apply different elements that we want, whether or not our customer is kind of dead set on a halo, we could apply that filter, and then we're only showing our results that have halos included. Same with center stone shape. We can modify that to filter down. And it's also a customer facing software. So any prices you see within the software are going to reflect any markups you have applied in your Stellar showcase. So we'll go ahead and dive right in. I have my little, well, I'll go ahead and introduce all these tiles first. So when launching CounterSketch, we have all of these different tiles. It just kind of separates all of our models down into different categories. I'm going to go ahead and go into my all ring design. At the top, we have those filters I was just discussing that we could maybe filter out just halos, and that'll bring our model count down. So we originally start with 1,400 different models. Applying that halo, we now have about 230. Another modification we can make while we're kind of shopping for a ring is changing out our stones and metal color. So our customers mentioned they definitely want rose gold. We can go ahead and make that adjustment here. That way we're shopping for stones that resemble that, yeah, I said rose gold, that resemble that yellow gold color. So we're gonna demo that ever and ever piece. We love it. We know the model number because it's on the ring. We're just gonna type that into the top. So our model number for this one is 123001. And it's as simple as pressing enter. I now have that specific ever and ever piece I just saw within CounterSketch. So once I click on it, I get a preview screen. I have all of the different center shapes this specific model can accommodate. I've got some more details at the bottom, and then I have 4 larger images, different viewports that I can see this model. So I'm going to go ahead and select Start Designing to open up my customization screen. And this is where I'm going to make all of the modifications to my piece. So I'm going to be given my design stack here on the left, and any possible change I could make to this model will appear here. Our first thing we notice is our ring size, so we can go ahead and adjust that. And our model is going to automatically adjust. We can go ahead and change our center shape. So our customer mentioned they definitely want that emerald shape. Here we have our center shape. We'll switch it to emerald. If I want to make it a little bit bigger, I could use my slider here. Maybe make it slightly bigger. If I'm using a customer stone and I have specific dimensions, I could simply type that in these boxes. Or if I wanted to shop Stellar's inventory, I can do so using these icons here. Now I want to go ahead and just make a few more changes to this piece. So I want my stone to be rotated. I want it to kind of sit east and west direction. So over here, I'm going to toggle on my rotate option. That's going to rotate my stone and automatically adjust that head. Now I can go in and adjust these shank stones. So I'm going to scroll over here. This mode here is what we call our simple mode. So these are just the top 10 changes we make to each model. And I don't see the ability to adjust my shank here. So I'm going to activate my advanced customization options, which is going to give me every possible adjustment I could make. I'm going to go into my shank category and I'm going to scroll down until I see some adjustments I can make. So here we have shank top profile width, and then right underneath it, it's giving me dimensions of the stones. So if I increase that shank top profile width, it's going to increase the top stone I have. And you'll notice it was a 1, now it's a 1.1 millimeter. So now maybe I want to bring my stones a bit further down. So I'll go back up to my advanced customization options, and I'm going to go into gem accent. Here I have the control to kind of say where my stones are going to end. So I'll increase that endpoint so that my stones end further down the band, and I want to kind of go about halfway. Maybe I'll go one more stone. There we go. And now that my ring is complete, I want to go ahead and make a few modifications to the metal color. So I want to do yellow gold. Right now it's in platinum. So over here to the right, I can change my metal color the same way I did in that search screen. So I'm going to left click. We'll do 14 karat yellow. And now my ring is complete. Well, we don't stop here. What if our customer wants to add a matching band? Here at the top of my screen, I have the option to add a matching band. So I'm going to toggle that on. Toggle it on. And now I have a matching band for this specific ring. Now over here in my design stack, I'm going to hover over to my band 1 tab. And here I'm given options to modify this band. So by default, it's got that contour shape. But if I just wanted a straight matching band, I could just simply toggle that off. And now we have just a straight band. I'm going to go ahead and toggle that contour back on. And now we have created an engagement ring as well as a matching band. And we did this all with our customer sitting right next to us. If we wanted to get a quick estimate of our piece, we could utilize our quick estimate tool over here in the bottom right corner. And once again, this is customer facing. So any price you see with this quick estimate tool is going to reflect your markups you already have in there. All right, we'll turn it back over to our PowerPoint to kind of continue into the B9. Oh, but before I do that, Before I do that, I want to show you how easy it is to print to B9. So from our CounterSketch main menu, we'll select that. We'll go to 3D printing and we'll print to B9. So we have integrated B9's automatic self-supporting software within CounterSketch. So as simple as clicking that print to B9 button, our print will generate here. And this is going to self-support our model. So we don't have to have any knowledge on how to support anything. It's going to automatically do it for us. And here it'll kind of give us a preview of what's going to print. We would generate this print file, load it onto this USB drive, really simple. Load it onto this, walk over to your printer, put it in, hit print, and we could have a prototype printed in 30 minutes. So we like to say ready to print in 30 minutes. And you could have a sample for your customer to try on. And this just helps you close that sale. I could look at the screen all day, but until I have a physical piece and see it on my ring, I don't really have that idea of what it's going to look like. So this is going to be just a good tool to help your customer kind of get a visual effect, get their hands on it, see what that center size shape is going to look like on their hands. Maybe they want to go get a bit bigger, maybe they want to go a bit smaller. And it's just really simple. You load it onto your USB, walk it over to your printer, and you hit print. So now we're going to go ahead and transition back over to our PowerPoint to kind of go over some more details about the B9 printer. Like Whitney mentioned earlier, we do have a session Friday that kind of goes into printing, into 3D printing if you want more information on it. But we just kind of wanted to show you how easy it is to use with CounterSketch. It's just a one-click prep button and you're trying on your resin sample.
And
Awesome. Thanks, Lainey.
Something that is good to say also, Lainey, is that sometimes when we are talking to anyone about, printing, sometimes you think, a lot of mess, cleaning. With the solution that we offer with the B9, it's super, super easy. I remember the day that I received the B9 printer in the office, and in just 1 hour, I was already printing. Even removing the supports from the printing is super easy. So in front of the customer, you can have your piece ready to show as you were saying, in just 30 minutes, and you don't need any special technique to do that. Yeah. So it's amazing how easy it is and how it helps to make the cell.
3D printers in general can be very overwhelming because you think you need this certain knowledge base to run them, but with the B9, it's very simple. You don't have to calibrate it. You don't need any sort of specialty degree to learn how to use it. Anyone can use it. So it's really simple for everyone to print on it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Lainey. Next, we're going to talk a little bit about CounterSketch and how it's sold. So we have a couple of different options for you if you are looking into investing in a software such as CounterSketch. So we have CounterSketch Studio, which is actually a desktop application. So a little bit of a higher upfront cost. You also need a special graphic card, so a heftier computer to run the software, but it's Windows only compatible. You'd have paid access to technical support, our online academy, as well with our annual membership. So there is an annual fee that you would pay with CounterSketch Studio, and that starts at $5,499. We also have CounterSketch streaming. So this is actually a cloud-based application and requires a monthly subscription. So lower upfront initial fee, and then you pay for your access monthly, just like any other subscription service that you're used to using. This would allow you to use either a Windows or an Apple device. You don't need any fancy computer. It just requires a high-speed internet connection. So if you have high-speed internet, CounterSketch streaming is probably the way you want to go. And with that monthly subscription fee, you get continual access to technical support as well as our online academy. I don't have a slide for our online academy here, but I'll talk a little bit about it. So our online academy is full of our curriculum. So pre-recorded videos where you can go online on your own time and you can learn the software at your own pace. So it's really important if you're going to invest in the software that you also invest time in properly learning the software. So it is a simple to use software, but training is going to help you, I promise. We have a bunch of different training opportunities. So if you're like, I really want to be able to ask questions as I learn, you can sign up for either our virtual workshops, or we also have in-person or virtual multi-day classes. So Lainey is our CounterSketch instructor. So if you sign up for one of our trainings, you will likely see her again. But we really, really recommend for the success of the software and implementing the software in your business that you purchase training as well. Now, if you're a self-learner like myself, I taught myself everything on the online academy. I didn't need someone there holding my hand, but not everyone works that way or learns that way. So if you need that in-person interaction with someone, we definitely have training to offer you. We have classes that are 4 to 8 hours as well as multi-day classes. So if you're interested in purchasing or you want more information, please reach out to us and we can help guide you in the right direction or the right training option for you. So CounterSketch streaming, continual access to our online academy, and that does come at $799 for the initial one-time payment up front, and then $79 a month thereafter. There is a 6-month commitment with CounterSketch streaming. So when you sign up, know that you're signing up for a minimum of 6 months. The last thing that I'm going to talk about here is we kind of touched on B9, but creating that ultimate experience with B9Creations. So as we say, render to print in under 30 minutes. And why is this so important? Why are we heavily focused on this experience? It's because you're taking that customer on a journey. So they're coming into your store. Maybe they don't know what they're looking for. You're using ever&ever. You're taking them to CounterSketch. You're creating something custom, and then you're giving them the option to print that right there, same day. Now, Stellar offers, maybe some of you have used CAD/CAM services in the past, or you have CounterSketch, maybe used it many years ago. Stellar offers a resin sample service, but it takes a few days to get to you. So you submit your order and it comes in, we validate the file, we print it for you, and we have to ship it back to you. Whereas this with B9Creation, it allows you to keep the customer in your store. So if you want to serve them coffee or maybe a little bit of champagne, entertain them for a little bit, talk about the weather, or you can say, hey, go down the street to Starbucks, grab a coffee, come back in 30 minutes, and we'll have that print ready for you. So it's really just creating a unique experience. So as Lainey showcased, and as we have here on the screen, there's an auto support technology that has been integrated into CounterSketch. So you don't have to have 3D print experience. You don't have to know everything. We've really made this super simple so that you or any associate that you have working on your sales floor can use this technology to create these experiences for your customer. So as I said, that same day design try on. You don't have to call that customer back in 3 or 4 days and get them back into your store, because we all know that once they leave your store and they haven't made a purchase, it's hard to get them back. So we're trying to eliminate that for you so you can have that same day service for your customer. And what that ultimately does is that increases your close rate. It also makes your sales associates more comfortable in using technology like this. So when you think about CounterSketch, and one of the reasons that we focus so heavily on training is the associates working in your store are used to selling with physical product. They may not be used to selling with software or in a digital environment. So that's something that you need to educate them on, how to introduce the software with the customer, how to have that digital interaction without that physical piece. So this really helps instill more confidence in your sales associates, because they know in the back of their mind that they're creating something that they can have the customer touch and feel and try on in order to close that sale. So they don't have to worry about, oh, I submit this order and what if it comes in and the customer doesn't like it? So we're helping to eliminate that and close that gap for you. So this integration is compatible with the B9Creations Core Series XL and 550 machines. So if you already have one of these machines, you just need to do a quick firmware update to have this integration. So if you already have the software. Also, if you have a 530 machine and you're like, man, I have CounterSketch and I really want this to work on my 530, give us a call. There is a solution there that we can do for you and get you up and running. So just to talk very briefly, so if you're looking to purchase both B9 as well as CounterSketch streaming, we do have some packages and bundles available for you, and that is a starting price of $9,995, and that's specifically for the 550 machines. If you're looking for the XL machine, it does come at a little bit of a higher price point, but these are also just great machines. If you do manufacturing in-house, if you have Matrix Gold, these machines work with any CAD software. So it's overall a great tool that you could use front of store, back of store, whatever your needs are. So that actually concludes our presentation for today. So we're going to open the floor up. I can see that there's quite a few chats or questions in here. So we want to make sure that we answer everyone's questions. So like I said, you can drop that in the chat section or the Q&A and we'll get those answered now. And we have them up on our screen here. So let's just see. So Sean's been helping us out and answering questions. Can you export CS files to STL? You cannot. So any file that is done through CounterSketch does have to be manufactured through Stellar's CAD/CAM services team. So what we've done with B9 is it allows you to print a prototype. So it is a gray resin material that is non-castable. It also prints, Lainey has here, well, this one doesn't have the side stones, but it will print with the side stones in it. So it's not going to be of a quality where you can go and cast or make a mold from this piece. So it is non-castable, and all of the manufacturing does still have to come through Stellar's CAD/CAM services.
And Winnie, we have here Brian Wilson that is asking if we can show how to import matrix hole files into CounterSketch. So today we had the presentation already, the PowerPoint that you were showing. So probably, Brian, if you are able to be tomorrow in the matrix, because tomorrow we'll have another session going deeper with matrix hole. So probably tomorrow's session will be the best to do that, because we'll have matrix hole open, showing what we'll be releasing in the next upgrade. And it will be a good moment just to, as I was telling yesterday, to export one file into Rhino 5 and open it in CounterSketch. So tomorrow, knowing that you are looking for that, Brian, I will demo it just in a couple of minutes. So tomorrow I will do it.
Awesome. Thanks, Oriel. That's also probably an opportunity for us to add some content for you, Brian, on our online academy. So we can work on that as well.
So
looks like we have a few people asking to rewatch the sessions. You will be able to rewatch the sessions. If you had to bounce out early, maybe you got here late, or maybe you missed the earlier session. So we will have recordings available for you of all the sessions that are going on this week. And like Oriel said, we'll talk deeper about Matrix Gold tomorrow. So that's our full CAD software. So that's that longer learning curve, kind of back of house, where if the customer comes in and says, hey, make me a mermaid ring, you can make that in Matrix Gold. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for Matrix Gold. And then if you're interested in B9 and 3D printing, we'll have a whole session on 3D printing on Friday as well. So be on the lookout. If you have not registered, go ahead and register for Thursday and Friday sessions so you don't miss anything.
yeah.
Are there any other questions about the software?
It seems that everyone has been asking everything. We can wait for one more or 2 more minutes to see if anyone have looked. There is another one. Where are the links to rewatch the past sessions? Gisette is sharing all the links to rewatch the session. So in the chat, you can find all the information. And Lainey, Winnie, we need to tell everyone that you have been very, very brave. So it's the first time that we are putting this studio together, and it looks fantastic. So you are ready now for go on national TV. You have been
yeah,
very,
perfect.
very well.
We joked yesterday and said we were going to host a coffee show.
No, but you have been you have been very, very brave. So I appreciate taking this. So thank you.
Awesome. Looks like we have a couple more questions. I've CounterSketch already. How do I update? So if you're on an older version of CounterSketch, you haven't, maybe don't have the latest styles or version, you can sign up for our CounterSketch membership. That's an annual fee. Remember, if you have streaming, you should be up to date. But if you're running CounterSketch Studio, the desktop application, it's $349 a year to update. That's going to give you all of your new library designs that we're coming out with every month. It's also going to give you access to our online academy as well, and the latest version of the software. So you can reach out to us and we can definitely get you up to date. Mark is asking, will it work with the old 3D printer you used to sell? It will not. So the only printers right now that are currently integrated with CounterSketch are the B9 550 and XL. So it's only with B9Creations currently. Does the B9 printers work with other CAD softwares? Absolutely. So the B9 is not tied to CounterSketch or Matrix Gold. If you are using another software, you can still use B9 as your printer. So they'll talk about that a little bit more on Friday.
Yeah, I see we have a question in the chat too. Can I use the B9 to print castable resin using Matrix Gold? Absolutely. Yep. You can only do non-castables from CounterSketch, but you could definitely use that same printer to print castable material with another program. Is the B9 only for jewelry? No, you could use the B9 to print whatever you want. It can print anything.
Yeah, if you want to make a fancy belt buckle, it can do that.
Yeah.
Probably best on the XL machine because the build table is a little bit bigger, but yeah, whatever you can design in the software, you can absolutely print on that machine. I think we have a couple more.
Yeah, so can CounterSketch be used for earrings, necklaces, and other pieces of jewelry? Absolutely. So there is no library models for earrings or other pieces of jewelry that you may be referring to, but you can definitely utilize those freehand parts in your freehand library and create a pair of earrings. We actually have a few videos on the Academy demoing a couple different pair of earrings. And we also have chains in there too. So if you want to make that necklace, we don't cast the chains, but you could definitely use them for visual effects for your renders.
Yeah, so if you are looking to create an earring or a necklace, you can go to stellar.com, select one of our item numbers. So one of our posts, whether you want friction, threaded post, also any of our chains. And what we'll do is we'll actually pull that from inventory and we'll assemble it for you through Stellar's CAD/CAM services. We just don't cast and grow those. We use just our stock pieces that we have there, but everything's possible.
Okay.
There is another question saying, hello, is CounterSketch used more than Rhino and Matrix as international softwares for jewelry? Look, it all depends on what you are looking for. If you want to be in the sales floor beside your customer, I travel around the world and I have seen CounterSketch in many, many stores. If, as Whitney and Lainey was talking about, if you want a software to create anything, as the mermaid ring that Winnie was talking about, then you can go for Matrix Gold. But definitely you can find CounterSketch all over the world.
You can also use both. So with CounterSketch, we have those library-based designs, those pre-built parts and pieces for you, which give you a lot of ability to make something truly unique and custom, especially if you're building fully from freehand. But there is a limitation to that. So I can't go draw whatever I want in there. So if you reach that limitation, having Matrix Gold as well, the two pair great together. So you can kind of give the customer a visual in CounterSketch. And if you reach the limitations, you can take that straight over to Matrix Gold and still be able to deliver that product that that customer is looking for.
Yeah, you're still giving them the experience of kind of designing along with you if you're using CounterSketch on your floor. And then once they're gone, you can kind of take your work to Matrix Gold in the back and get those more complex designs done.
Oh yeah, look, Anna just said we use both. That's awesome. Matrix and Matrix Gold are definitely more complicated and a lot longer learning curve.
Yeah.
But we have the training academy that is there to help everyone.
Yes, there's an academy for both. So CounterSketch and Matrix Gold. And if you're transitioning to Matrix Gold, maybe from a previous Matrix version, we have everything there that you need as well.
Yep, we have all the tools to make you successful within the software. So we want you, if you're using this software, we want you to feel confident in using it. We don't want you to purchase it and then just set it off to the side and don't use it. We want you to be using that software that you spent the money on. So definitely take advantage of all of our training options we have available.
So the B9 models are the 550 and the XL. So Core 550 series and XL. They should all be on stellar.com. So we sell their printers. So if you just type in B9 on stellar.com, you should see the models that we offer.
Kyla is also saying, I love Matrix Gold, so much easier than past versions. So just wait until tomorrow and you will see what we have ready for Matrix Gold. So
really exciting.
Come see us at JCK as well. So
yeah, we'll
Lainey and I will both be there as well as Oriole. So come stop by and say hi to us. All right. It looks like we've made it through all of our questions. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us today, spending an hour out of your day. We really appreciate it. We hope that you walk away from the sessions this week with more knowledge on where the industry is, where it's going, and what Stellar can do to help make you successful.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope to see at least a few of the names that I saw in the chat in a few of my training sessions. So I look forward to seeing you guys later.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.